So welcome.
Hi, besties.
Hi.
Hi.
We've got our bestie Anna on the show today. And before we jump into the show, I've got a rapid fire question for you.
Okay.
What has been your most recent failure or lesson? Or maybe you've learnt from your failure.
Never trust a fart.
What, recently?
Yeah,
Tell us the
always.
story.
I was going to say, is this going to lead into a story?
Oh, it could. Absolutely. No, that's just like a little taste of me. No, seriously though, never trust a fart, obviously. I don't care how old you get. It's rapid fire. It's too long. I think my failure, just to go really like from humor to depth fast, is stay true to yourself, because like just don't force anything when your gut's telling you no is a massive one for me. When it's screaming at you in the face, just you have to trust your gut in all ways, all ways.
It's a big one.
And don't trust a fart. Ever.
So we've got you on the show because you are one of our besties, but you've done some amazing things in the business world. You've got three separate companies now?
Yeah, 3 companies, like 4 businesses, right? Because I've still got my network marketing business, which is a business, but then I've founded, as you babes know, and run 3 other companies. So it's four businesses, 3 of which are my companies across 4 different industries.
And for those who don't know you, let's hear it. What is your business? What do you do?
I'm a life enthusiast above all else. So there's 4, right? Let me introduce you to them if you do not know me. Number 1, I started in network marketing when I was 25. So that was 11 years ago now. I built full-time and flat out in that for 8 consecutive years. And that still runs. That still pays me a full-time, beautiful passive income. And that is truly passive now. Then I launched Self-Love School, an online educational, inspirational, motivational platform for women to teach them how to think, move, eat, speak, heal, fuck, earn, and self-care like they love themselves. So that only launches once a year, but I walk hundreds of women through a time doing all of those things. Then I launched 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓, the Awakened Woman, which is an NFT. So I founded an NFT in the crypto space, which was really fun because like everyone told me don't do, like how I wouldn't succeed and don't do it and I'm crazy, and it's like one of the top 5% projects in the world for what it's done already. This is like it will go to the 1%. And then the symbiotic company and like the sister company to that is like my baby and the beast, which is 𝗦𝗢𝗓 Collective. So the Awakened Woman is short for, or like the long for 𝗦𝗢𝗓. And that is my athleisure wear, global athleisure wear company. But it's the first in the world, which is 50% of profits go back to the 𝗦𝗢𝗓 holders. So no one's done that yet in the crypto and or business space. And I'm really excited. I haven't done it yet, but it's happening. It's here and it's happening. So they're the 4. So it's like network marketing industry, crypto industry, education industry, and then fashion industry, which is hectic.
Which you are wearing.
I am wearing.
Now.
I live in it.
I'm also wearing it. I actually love your
the embody earth green.
Yeah, I love it for tops like this. If you struggle to find a bra
that
goes well with this type of style top,
You're in it.
It's 𝗦𝗢𝗓 Collective.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much wrapping it every day at the gym. So if you follow me on Instagram, I'm in it daily.
Yeah.
And this is why I want to have you on the show because this is how you do, it's not just business, how you do life. Like you're all in with everything. And I've seen you build each of those businesses with that tenacity and that energy. And I remember when you launched your Self-Love School, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. It's an online platform program.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But when you launched your NFT, The Awakened Woman, that was a big thing because, and this is why I'm excited to have you on the show, because a big ethos behind what we do is we want to empower women with financial literacy. And I think a big thing for women is they're like, that's too complicated, or I can't get into that, or I'm not going to buy crypto. How does that even work? And I was excited because I'm like, you made it digestible and accessible for women to step into that space. So can you explain a little bit about what that space is, some misconceptions women particularly may have about it, and how women now, you're making it available in a space that they can play in as well?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is like my big passion. So 𝗦𝗢𝗓, I do think people, we could go so many places with this interview, but I do think that a gift of mine, I do really think, is like I can almost like pull myself back and look at the bigger picture and just see trends before they almost happen. Now, taking you back to like before all this, like the audacity I had to enter the crypto space, which it is audacious. I'd already been investing in the blockchain and loved blockchain technology and crypto since 2017. And I did that because as a woman, everyone was calling it a scam. And I was always curious, just like network marketing. Everyone called it a scam, so I leaned in and pushed harder. And I saw that trend with crypto and I was like, that's interesting because I earned millions in network marketing. And here people are again condemning something that they don't understand. And so that's what initially made me lean in. I learned the technology and I very quickly realized that it was coming no matter what. So blockchain is what underrides crypto essentially. And I fell in love with that technology. And I realized, I started to educate myself and I was like, shit, it's coming whether people want it or not. It's here already whether people want it or not. And what I know to be true is that women are always scared, we are, of two areas, and that's finances and technology. And I was gutted for women because I thought, it's both of those things. Crypto and blockchain is technology and finances. And so I love my community. I've built my community over 10 years and I saw an opportunity. I'm also an entrepreneur, a fierce entrepreneur. And I genuinely saw an opportunity where not only could I educate and like motivate women to enter an industry that they should be and not get left behind, I could give back to my community as well. That was the deepest desire with the business model that I developed with the 50% give back of profits. And so how that then happened was just making it digestible and making it accessible. So I still to this day educate for free. You don't have to invest in my NFT, but I created a space online, which was the Discord essentially. And I literally still today, it's all there, but talk women through step by slow, digestible step on how to set up a wallet and set up an exchange and transfer crypto and do the things that you have to do to ultimately enter the space of blockchain and crypto. And also created the space and the community of women to come together to know that no question was a dumb one and that the question you're going to ask, another woman had it, felt it, or went through it and is on the other side. So we'll hold your hand through it. And it's become, I mean, even I've got venture capitalists looking in at the project now, you know, scratching their head saying, how did you do this? How did you create this? And I'm like, because women get left behind and I just refuse to do that. So you put women in a space that traditionally women aren't. We are here to change the world. And I just have bridged that gap with the crypto world. And so I think and I still get it every day, like, that, you know, I don't know that, I don't understand that, that's too hard, I'm too dumb or whatever else. And I'm like, well, no, you're not, because you can come into a space for free and slowly and carefully and like step by step create it for yourself.
Well, my experience in the Discord has been super positive. Like,
yeah, welcome.
I've loved it. I actually had to hook up. I got a new computer. I had to hook up my NFT that I bought.
Yeah.
So I could access the platform, which by the way, we haven't even spoken about properly, but yeah, like the old me would have been like, Maddie, can you help me with my wallet? Like, what's this thing? And all I had to do was go into the Discord, literally ask a question, and some beautiful person was like,
do this.
Download this wallet. This is how easy it is. And boom, like I've got it on my new computer. So,
and that was the standard I set. I think as women and business women especially, we need to set the standard in our lives, in our homes, and in communities. And I set the standard from day one in the community that you will not ask your partner or husband and you will not call a brother, that you will lean on and rely on each other because we can do it together. And then when the next woman comes along and is terrified or scared or unsure, she's met with another woman that also felt that way and can coach her through that, because it is a space that, like I said, it was coming whether we wanted it or not. And it's here now, whether we wanted it or not. And so now the project from that perspective, no other project in the world has done it in terms of, I think there's 910 holders. But that's 910, so women. I think there's a couple of men. We love our men. There's just smart investors. They just saw the project and were like, I want a piece of it. But predominantly it's, approximately 900 women that didn't know what a wallet was, had never heard of Ethereum, didn't have crypto, was terrified of the space and absolutely had crossed herself out of the industry and has entered, invested, and is now got her wallet and has Ethereum and has an NFT, and I'm really proud of that.
I'm proud of it too.
I'm proud of it. I'm having a little chuckle because I was you when I went to set it up. I was like, Dan, can you help? Because Dan's investing in crypto and I just trust him to do that. But I'm like, that's exactly what I say not to do. Like, I need to know how to do it. So I went, Dan, can you help me set up my wallet? He's like, no.
Yes, Dan, we love you, Dan.
Dan wouldn't help me. He's like, sit down, follow the instructions. I'm like, fine.
Good.
So I have this really beautiful NFT. Thank you.
Yeah.
But can you explain what is an NFT? Like, how does it actually even work?
So NFT it stands for non-fungible token. And people always say, isn't that just the JPEGs online? And I'm like, yes, 100%. It is the JPEG, but the JPEG is just the key. So, and not all projects are equal. And again, I have so much free education on this, and I would encourage anyone, if you're watching or listening and you're interested, like I'm always like, don't run out and buy any NFT or every NFT. I teach everyone, but I always work with women. Pussy power. I have in my Instagram bio, if you click on the link, there's like watch the free NFT crypto basics webinar. Go and watch that. I would always encourage every woman to watch that because I also talk you through how to spot a good NFT. What is an NFT? I really take you through the depth of that. But for me, the way that I explain it for my project and what they are is it is the key that contains the technology of the blockchain. And ultimately an NFT it's a smart contract. And that's the blockchain. And so it's basically telling technology, if you connect this NFT to something, then this happens. So for me, say most people know, I forget, CryptoPunks, or what was the monkey one? Can't even think.
Oh, the monkey one. Yeah.
But it got you access to parties, right? And to get a ticket, you'd have to connect your NFT. The technology reads that you've got that NFT in your wallet and you'd get a party ticket. Mine, right now, there's two main pieces of utility, which is what it's called. And the first one, and again, this wasn't done in the world when I had done it, but it just made sense to me that instead of, and this is the future, I really believe this, instead of having like a username and password to an online platform, you could connect your wallet and you'd get access straight away. And so that was one of the pieces of utility. So in my smart contract, if you own an NFT, when you connect your wallet, it will read that, oh, yep, okay, you've got an awakened woman. It's just clever.
Well, I think it's smart because so many people do produce like an online course, let's just say, and then they'll give their password and username to a friend and like, yeah, just log in. But you can't do this.
You can't do it. And it's just smart. And it's so smart because I'm like, I also have no admin.
So good.
I have zero admin. There's no like, I forgot my password. You don't have a password. You connect your wallet. Now, if people don't know how to do that, then they jump in the Discord. There's a free community and people ask in there. So it's just smart business. But that's the first utility. So women will jump online, connect their wallet, and it will read, and then it logs them into the Awakened Woman Hub, which is, again, and the most, like, my goal with that is to make it the most educational, motivational, and inspirational space on the internet for women. And right now there's like 2 courses in there, but I want there to be like 2,000. And that in itself paid for that NFT already.
Yeah, invaluable.
Non-negotiable. But also then I have, in time to come, so that's what we're currently developing now, a website. So again, once Tor Collective is profitable, the athleisure wear brand, and it's on its way, then I will convert that profit. And there's a huge reason why I've done this as well. So convert the 50% of that profit back into Ethereum. Women will then, and this is, there'll be like a month or 2 to 4 week period where they'll be notified, communicated to, etc. You'll reconnect your wallet to a separate website and the Ethereum drops into your wallet. So you're paid profit. Now, why I chose Ethereum for this is because it's untraceable. So many women, first of all, I'm very, very passionate about DV, domestic violence. I'm passionate about financial literacy for women. And women are on Centrelink, women are trying to save money. So this, like having Ethereum, having crypto, until you want to transfer it into fiat, which is like whatever, AUD,
Money.
USD currency, no one knows about it. The government doesn't know about it. Now that's legal. But until such time. So if I was just airdropping, like my goal is that, you know, LSKD right now, so Jason, he's going to hit it. He'll hit $100 million revenue this year. LSKD. It's an Australian brand. And I'm like, okay, he's done it. I want to do it more and I want to do it faster. Correct. That's who I am, right? And we know that. And I don't stop until I do it. So I'm not talking about, you know, a couple of dollars of profit going to every woman that owns an NFT. I'm like, my goal is thousands, tens of thousands forever. This is my legacy. And I want financial literacy for women, but I want them to also be educated in a space, which is crypto. I want them to have access to that space, which is they do with the project. And then I want them to learn about financial literacy so then they can start to invest. They can start to choose how they want to, like, do they want to start whatever they want to do is what I'm trying to say. So, but in the interim and in the process of educating them in that space, not mess with their current situation financially, not, you know, put money into a woman's hands that maybe needs it hidden from a partner or the government or Centrelink or whatever else. And that's completely legal. So it's just disruptive and it's different and I'm proud.
And that's why we love you.
But yeah, it's a big project. And like I said, right now, venture capitalists have started to come sniffing around, which is incredible. And I'm like, it was honestly the proudest day of my life when my accountant and financial planner had called and was like, look, they're interested. And I was like, how do they know? And he's like, I'm talking about it, which was very humbling in itself. But I was like, wow. And it's all men. We're talking millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that they want to put into the project. And I'm like, no, I don't need you yet. I've done this until this point and I want to finish my job. And ultimately I just have to keep growing, which I'm doing, Tor Collective. And we're going to do this as women and we're going to prove the industry wrong. We're going to disrupt the world. And my goal is that we put pressure on other companies. They don't have to, but I'm like, imagine if, because to me, I'm like, we're only where we are as successful entrepreneurs because of the people that buy from us. So I wanted to give back and I wanted to create a new business model that hadn't been done in the world, which put pressure on big corporations to start to share their profits, because we're only where we are because of customers.
Yeah, your audience, your
so
community.
I'm like, why can't we create a business model that's win-win? And I feel like I've done that with Tor Collective. And H, I call him, had said to me, they want to invest now. And I said, no, I want to prove my business model first. And he's like, but you've done that. You're about to do that. And at that point, then you've got the world that will want to come in. And I'm like, well, they can stay where they are. They can start to create their own NFTs. But I genuinely think, I know NFTs, when done right, will become the future. I think there'll be real estate contracts. I think there'll be login, like courses will just have them as the login. I think they will be ticket events. I just think it will be everything and it will be the norm. And it won't be, you know, you might buy an NFT for $5, but you then have that NFT and it just unlocks it's the key. It's always just the key.
I love your certainty in it. It's just so good.
Yeah, it's unbreakable.
Yeah.
And like there's these businesses that are smart businesses, but that's also you behind the business who've done it. You've built all of them. We said like 4 of them now by yourself independently. Yes, from your community who's believing in you, but because you invest in your community and you've been able to build these, you funding them too. Like you have done with any loans. Like that's a pretty big thing for people who are running businesses, and especially like a merchandise business like merch with Tor.
Yep.
Like that's all been funded by you.
Yeah. I'm really proud of that. I have no investors, no bank loans and no nothing. And I credit that, you girls know this, but I credit that to network marketing. And I'm really proud of that. Like the empire and the legacy that I built in network marketing and the trust and the belief that I still have in that industry. But I built until like laser focused on that, saved, invested, was smart with my money. And I'm big on cash. Like I had a lot of cash liquidity because I knew what I wanted to do. Everyone's different. I know you're my real estate queen. you're my like real estate, you're my share queen. And the conversations we get to have, ladies, when we get together privately is beautiful and wild and abundant. We want this for everyone. And that's why I know you ladies, queens, have done this podcast. But for me, I always saved my money to travel the world and then to invest back into my companies. And so when I launched Tour, every dollar, so the Awakened Woman, my NFT, well, self-love school, you know, when I wanted, you know, all the filming, which we did, I did, and then the website that was funded from Isagenix. Then the self-love school income, I was saving, which was huge.
Funded Tour.
Funded the Awakened Woman. And then the Awakened Woman, and then that's my investment portfolio right now.
Well, let's talk about the moves you've made because, yeah, like you said, like you've created these businesses, but behind the scenes you've been making moves. What would you say would be the top 5 moves you've made to get to where you are today? Obviously, saving and investing, I would say, are 2 big ones of yours.
Yeah. I would say it's kind of my ethos. Saving 100%. Investing. And then I would honestly say, and it's kind of become like my catch cry, but it's because as you were talking, then I'm like, do you know what? Saving, investing, yes. Trusting myself, backing myself, and loving myself. Because the shit that us, anyone will come up against as you make these moves and you build an empire, you're creating your legacy, is hard. And there's road bumps and there's disruption and there's hurt and there's heat. And I mean, I get it exponentially. It's just a different ball game for sure for me. But with the hurt and the heat and the hate, but there's stuff that will come up that could derail you in a moment. And it's a constant decision. Do you keep getting back up? Do you keep investing in yourself? Do you keep taking the risks? Do you keep putting yourself out there? And it's different for women because I know we're all like in our feminine and we're passionate about that as well. The feminine isn't designed necessarily for, in my life anyway, to build at the speed that I do, to take on the risk that I do, to take on the heat and hate that I have. And so when I am knocked down and when, you know, crisis comes knocking or grief comes knocking, or it is only because I know myself, love myself, trust myself and back myself that I get back up and I build with the ferocity that I do. And then saving has been huge for me and investing. Like I don't have to stress. I don't have stress in my life. And it's like, imagine that. And that's
available,
taken, and it's available. And I always say to women as well, it's easy to sit on a beautiful couch on a whatever day it is today. I don't know.
I think it's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. Okay, I'm like, oh my God, we're in a vortex. But you know, it is easy to sit here now and go, oh, it's amazing and this, and we don't have to stress about money. But that was a 10-year journey for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but imagine if you today listening aren't there and you're still at where I was 10 years ago. But imagine if you started today where you could be in 10 years, even if you're 50. My mum's about to turn 70 and she's like, I'm in the best decade of my life. I'm like,
yes, mum.
Yes, queen. So it's just, I always get that question, Anna, is it too late? Never.
No.
Anna, have I missed the boat? Never. I just think wherever you are, like start wherever you are, use what you have and do what you can. And for me, those 5 moves fundamentally that I use over and over and over and over again in my life absolutely was saving and investing. And then it just came, it's consistently like loving myself, backing myself, knowing myself and trusting myself. And that's a big one. Like, because I say to Ryan, my partner, all the time, I'm like, baby, entrepreneurship is just making decisions and putting out fires, right? And you constantly have to trust yourself in those decisions, and you constantly have to back yourself in those decisions.
Well, and like you've said, it's taken you like over a decade to get here. Like it's been a journey. What do you think your biggest shift has been, like from the Anna 10 years ago to where you are today? Like what beliefs did you have to rewire? How did you have to pivot or change or shift to be who you are today?
I think that's such a good question because it's so multifaceted and big. But I think the biggest shifts that I have had to come, it is about meeting yourself where you're at as a woman in every iteration of the journey. And I think it's allowing yourself to die, to burn in the fire of identity. So for me, you know, the Anna that built her network marketing business, I love her, but I don't recognize her anymore. Like, I'm in love with her and all that she represented and all that she was and the fuck ups and the successes that she had. But, you know, today I'm like, oh, I wouldn't, but I allowed myself to be reborn, right? To then launch Self-Love School and take on that, you know, the imposter syndrome and the audacity of that. I'd never done anything like that. You know, people go, well, what qualifications do you have in that? I'm like, life, sis, life, right? But you come up against that. So then it was like dying and being reborn into that shift of identity. It's identity. I would say that's what it is. Allowing yourself to consistently, like the phoenix, like die and be reborn and die and be reborn, burning in the fires, but then having the courage and the guts and the grit and the grace and the gratitude to consistently reinvent yourself and what that looks like. And for me, you know, taking on, this is again very big and wild, but I wouldn't have done this 10 years ago. But just before I launched Tor Collective, actually, I knew, I was like, the audacity I have. Like, who do I think I am? Taking on not only an industry I have absolutely no experience in, taking on, like, creating a business model with it that has never been done before. The pressure I had that I was putting on my own self. And I was like, I'm not her yet. I just didn't even, and I had the courage to admit that. And I was like, I don't think I'm her yet. I don't honestly feel like I can trust myself enough to make the decisions I feel like I'm going to have to. And the balls, like literally the lady balls, to invest what I have to consistently of my own money with my own risk, because I don't take on bank loans or investors. And so I was like, what's going to get me there? So it's asking yourself that question, the burning and the re-identity, like rebirth. And that's when I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go become a solo skydiver.
I remember this era of yours.
Yeah, I'm her. Like, I still can jump out of planes by myself. But everyone was like, where did that come from? And I was like, the deepest desire of my next becoming, and the courage to know that I needed to do that. And that's, again, ballsy and big. And I wouldn't have done that 10 years ago, but maybe right now, because I remember thinking, right, when that door opens 15,000 feet up,
you got to jump.
You got to jump, sis. And I always say, I'm jumping out of a plane with like a sheet and some string, literally. But you have to trust yourself, and you have to back yourself, and you have to be so in your body and so in your, like, so embodied in your backing and trusting that, or you die. And I was like, but that's the level of commitment that I wanted to bring to Tor Collect. That's why I'm like, I'm never going to fail. Like, I'm not going to fail. I'm going to learn.
You're never going to fail.
I'm never going to fail. I'm like, I'm going to learn, but I'm not going to fail. But for someone listening right now, for their biggest shift in their moves that they're making might be that they actually just want to go all in on to be a coach, or show up bigger in network marketing, or launch a podcast. Right? And they're so terrified of what people are thinking of them, or what, you know, because I'm like, fuck what people think, right? But people go, but how do you have that energy and attitude? It's having the courage to take the step and become the woman that doesn't care what other people think. And so for me, the biggest shift I've made again and again and again is that audacity in my becoming. And I think if women could tap more into their audacity, in a sense, and have the courage to burn in those fires and be reborn as who she needs to be, then she's unstoppable.
She is.
And you two are this, you're like both like smiling.
Well, you're just having a proud moment. Look at our girl. Yeah. Look at our girl.
I love you.
I don't know.
It's because Shelby was just, the other bestie was just at the house before I left, and she was saying, she's like, oh, I'm so proud of Lozzie and Shani. Like, I've really felt their shifts recently and just how they're showing up and the words they're using. I'm like, yes, I'm going to tell them this.
Oh, that's nice.
Right?
Love you, sis.
And then also, actually, that's a really big point. Like, surround yourself with sisters.
Yeah.
Like, surround yourself with the best.
I think it's important too. Like, people see what women like you create, what we've created, businesses and stuff, and now they're hearing also your mindset. Like, it's the courage, it's the bravery. It's like you said, I self-lead, I back myself. But you take and make big moves consistently. So what does life look like behind the scenes for you in a day in the life of Anna CEO? What do your days look like? Because I think some people, and correct me if I'm wrong, they have this vision or they like, oh, when I make it, I'm just gonna be sitting on the beach all day, every day, sipping pina coladas. And I'm like, I actually don't know anyone who's created anything massive who loves what they do, that's what their days look like.
Not consistently.
No.
There are some days.
Yes.
Where I
we
do
have
sit
freedom
on the
to do
beach.
that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, and I'm not going to word the word, I have this love-hate relationship with the word hustle, because I feel like people have like they've
villainized it.
Yeah, they're like, but I'm like, when you're working towards something that you love and you're passionate about, you're excited.
It doesn't feel like
hustle.
Yeah. Let me tell you, and I will like die on this hill. No coach, no one that perpetrate, like that can sit there from the mountaintop and be like, it's easy or freedom or whatever else, didn't get there from not hustling. We hustled. I have hustled. Ryan also says, like, obviously he's newish in my, like, a year into my life, and he's like, you need to show more of how hard you do actually work. Like, people don't see enough of behind the scenes. So a day in the life for me, it is I have a lot of freedom, in the sense though that freedom's firstly one of my highest values. And so I'm psychologically unemployable. Like, that was my big thing. I never wanted to be on someone else's schedule or have a boss or whatever. So when I say I have freedom, I can design my days pursuant to what feels good for me, but there is always work. So I always, in the morning is my own. It's like my sacred container of just like self, which is like moving, eating, thinking, speaking, healing, whatever I have to do in the morning to feel phenomenal, which I will prioritize above all else. But then I move from that space. So then it's fierce. It's like, it's business. I get down to business. I have to make decisions. I'm managing teams. I'm putting out fires. I'm on the phone. I'm on Zooms. I'm negotiating. I'm paying big invoices. I'm doing business. And sometimes it can be, you know, a 4-hour day of business, or sometimes it's 15. And sometimes if I'm in the season, like I was just in a season because I was going to Brazil and Bali and, you know, also traveling the world, there was a lot that I wanted done before I left. I think I worked like 14 days back to back for 15 hours a day, but I produced more in that time than most probably would in 6 months.
Yeah.
Just in terms of like, because I was launching two with a company, like I was launching a new collection in Tour Collective, and then I was also launching Self-Love School. So I had 270 women come in the door.
I remember watching you online on the top of a freaking a float in Brazil at Carnival, whilst launching Self-Love School, whilst launching a new drop. I was like, this chick's bad. I love her. How is she doing this?
Yeah, but that is a beautiful like snapshot of my life, and the chaos of it, and managing 3 companies. That was wild, but yeah, I went to Carnival in Rio on top of a float, best time of my life,
in the sexiest outfit,
and then was simultaneously launching Self-Love School. It was in a launch week. Now that wasn't planned. This is the crazy thing. I had done all my launch sequences, like everything was planned for business, and then Rio Carnival fell in my lap. So
how could you say no?
Yes. And both.
Yes.
And everything. So
yeah, because I remember you like, it was like maybe 2 or 3 a.m. over in Brazil, and you're like on your stories like, so I'm just launching because it's like daytime over in Australia right now. I was just like in awe of you.
Yeah.
Of course that's how Anna launches.
Of course that's how I launch. I still had glitter on my face. I remember eating spaghetti off camera. At 2 a.m. Well, it was like 2 a.m. But that's my choice, right?
And you wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely not. Ryan actually said to me yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Something wild. What did I do yesterday? What day is it today?
Sunday.
Oh, no. I was like, yes, to Rick Shaw's really late, and we were having like rosé, and it was just a beautiful evening. And because there's a season of babies soon, eventually, or private, but you know that season's coming for me. I'm well aware I don't have kids, so that's a big thing. But Ryan goes, baby, you know when you have kids, you know, like what are you going to do at nighttime? I'm like, go to Rick Shaw's and drink rosé. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Have you met me? Like, yes, it's going to look different, but I just...
Pretty sure you took me with Stevie to Rick Shaw's. That's
yes,
my 30th
I did on your
birthday. We went to Rick
birthday.
Shaw's and I still had Stevie in the pram. Like, see this and both.
Yes, and everything. I remember that distinctly. And that's the point in power, right? Yeah. I think I am just who I am. And if you know, you just have to follow what feels good. Yeah. Work hard and follow what feels good.
I feel like a topic that is of hot discussion, especially with women in business, is money mindset. I'd love to know, did you find there was a big shift in your relationship with money, or did you have to change a limiting belief around money, or did something change distinctively from 6 figures to 7 figures for you?
All the time. So all the time. Money mindset is something that I'm consistently working on, and it's not because I've failed in it, and this is something I believe for everyone. We're always going to hit a ceiling. Ultimately, like our body and our nervous system always is the containment, the safe containment for a number that we're safe with. So, and that's why lotto, you hear it a million times, lotto winners come into money and they lose it straight away. And also business owners, right? Or women in general our nervous system knows a number and it's safe at that number. And so we kind of like overspend or underprice, or we do whatever else to stay at that level or lose what we've created. Happens every day. I see it every day. And so it's something that I am consistently working on. So when I was launching Tor Collective, even Tor, so the Awakened Woman, I knew what it could do. That's, I think, it depends on crypto, right? But ultimately, even just at a year ago's rate, it worked out, that'll be like a $4 million project at mint out, and plus, because there's 5% passive income on that forever. But for me, that was a new number for me. Like that was and I haven't done that yet. It's like 2 million at the moment, but it was like, that was a new number. And I was just acutely aware before I even entered. I was like, this is not probably safe for my nervous system. I need to work on holding that, magnetizing that and holding it. And so all the time, I'm consistently doing work on my mindset. So if I want, this is like a little thing I do, but when there's a new number that I'm magnetizing or going for or attracting, now it's like 100 million. I am so not even, but it's like Jason from LSKD did it. I want that for my community. I'm going for it. So it's I put it up around the house. So it's so normal for my nervous system to see it. It's tangible for me. So every time I'm launching something, or even self-love school, when I have a goal, like, okay, I want to impact 300 women. That was my goal. So for self-love school, I said, okay, I want 300 women. I worked out what that number would ultimately be, and I wrote that everywhere because that was a new level. I'd never done that in a week. Now I landed on 270, which was phenomenal. And that was still the biggest week I've ever had financially in my life week. Actually, no, Tor definitely beat that. But for self-love school, again, it was like the biggest number. So money mindset is something as a human being I am consistently working on, consistently cleaning up, and consistently making sure that my nervous system knows that it's safe to not only magnetize it, but hold it and then amplify it for sure.
It's a constant evolution. I think we've spoken about that a lot this episode. It's like burning, reborn. It's how you think.
Yeah, there's no final destination.
No, and you're always learning, you're always growing, which leads me to my next question is, what has been your most recent breakthrough in business? Like the level that you're currently at, what did you have to break through to play at this level and hold what you currently have?
I think, honestly, the biggest breakthrough is having the audacity to enter an industry, and this is so relative for every single person, like the fashion industry. That's what I'm in ultimately, which is like athleisure wear, but that's like an activewear brand. The amount of people that still today say, but it's like it's a done market. There's like a million brands out there. It's flooded. What's your experience? And they say it with love. So it's not criticism or anything. It's concern almost. So it's the biggest breakthrough for me. And now it's unstoppable. Now I'm like, I'll take on space. Like, it's just that audacity to know that no matter what I've done, lack of experience or ample experience. No matter where I've come from, no matter who I am, I get to have the audacity to go after my dreams in whatever capacity and at whatever, ferocity I desire. And let me tell you, like, I have cried a billion tears. I have been sick with fear, like physically sick with fear. This was in the beginning, like terrified, not even of failure, but of like letting the community down, even when it was wildly succeeding, like it was happening. But the amount of the depth that I had to go to within myself to constantly reach for like, just have the audacity to go again, like have the audacity to invest more, have the audacity to like take another risk. So I think that is the biggest like breakthrough, because I would still be just like playing with Tor and like building out the, the platform, the educational platform. I'd probably have like 10x down on Self-Love School, which would be phenomenal, but it's not my legacy. And so I know as a woman, it was having the audacity and like to become and then it was that like, so being so scared and fearful of it and crying as much as I did, even with skydiving, I remember thinking like, I'm not her yet. Like, I'm not her yet. I'm scared. I'm still scared. And I'm stuck in this like cycle of, is it possible? Can I really do this? Like, fuck, I don't think I can. What was I thinking? How dare I? And then that's when I was like, I need to go throw myself out of a plane.
Right? I know how to fix this. Just throw myself out of a perfectly good plane.
Yeah, I'm going to go 15,000 feet and throw myself out of it again and again and again. But again, it was that audacity. And it's just understanding that, like having the audacity to do that. And then, so I think that, especially when you want to play at the level that we play at, it is having, I know for both of you as well, that would ring true. Just like audacity to invest, audacity to freaking build hotel, like the bigness of life.
There's an episode on that coming.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm like going to be the number one listener, because that's the level we get to play at. But you can still apply that to your life, as a mother, having the audacity to say no to a shitty mums group, right? It's whatever it is, but it's true. You can apply that to any level of your life, and it will propel you forward and provide you with success, because it's that burning desire within to pursue the life of your wildest dreams, right? And whatever that looks like, feels like, tastes like, sounds like for you, you have to have the audacity to pursue it. So,
ooh. Yeah, that was amazing. I just want to honor you for a minute. You are just beautiful, babe. But like the mission that you are on, how you are so freaking passionate about helping women, and you're just like, you do not care about fitting into the status quo. You are just like, I am doing it my way. I am doing it differently. I am disruptive. Watch me, catch me if you can. It's inspiring. It's so amazing. So thank you for being on the potty. We could talk here all day.
Yeah, we love you. Yeah, we love you. We're here celebrating you, and we're going to end the episode because that was a mission of this season, was to have women entrepreneurs on the season that we can elevate and we can celebrate. So I have a rapid fire question for you.
Ooh, okay.
Who are you celebrating this week? Is there someone you want to give a shout out to?
I'm going to celebrate my beautiful friend, Ash, who we just lost. Yeah, she was the most beautiful soul. She was an earth angel, and she is with me now. So I'm celebrating Ash and her bigness and her greatness. She taught me more about grace and love and presence and gratitude than any other woman on earth. And I always say, like, I was the balls and she was the grace. And so Ash, celebrating and elevating her and her legacy, and what will be, I truly believe, what's going to come from losing her, I think will be historic. We will create legislation, or there'll be something. So, Ash.
I love it. Thanks for being on, babe. We love you.
Love you.